This is our drone video for the 21-acre tract on Katy Lane. This is a big property, basically all wooded. We started in the air, so we're looking back toward the east. That's Katy Lane, the gravel road. And now we're looking to the south. And this will make a lot more sense if you look at the aerial pictures in the listing. Kind of panning down. You can't see the driveway, it's within those trees. And we're just toward the center, toward the top. There's a little red speck, that's the truck. And it's parked basically at the end of the driveway by the little cleared site. And now we're trying to get oriented. We're facing basically north. And we're going to go all the way to the west side of this property in a moment here. You'll see in a moment it's all wooded, other than there is a power line crossing the west side, and that part is cleared. So looking to the west, way off in the distance, you can see that line cutting across that cleared swath, and that is the power line, and that's toward the west side of the property. So large property. And I believe we take the drone and we go all the way west to that power line, and we'll get a good look at this. I don't have a topo map in front of me, but I have seen it before, and this does go up and down. It's pretty typical Ozark type land, except that it's not super steep anywhere. It's all what I would call usable property. There's nothing that's too steep to walk or ride a four-wheeler or whatever. So we're headed west. The drone is a little higher than I like. I would have liked to get closer to those trees so we could get a good look at those. Mostly hardwood on this one, although there are some cedars and probably a few pines as well. But it's mostly oak and hickory on this property. It's kind of an interesting shape in that it's quite long. It's like a long rectangle, but it's wide enough that you could do your site on any part of it and be quite private. I think I've mentioned before on properties like this, good opportunity to do a trail system, and you could literally have a couple miles of trails on this 21 acres, which you can't do on a perfectly square property. It's just not suited for it. So there's the power line. That's a high line, so it's doubtful that you could hook into that. So if you wanted power, Katy Lane, right at the southeast corner, southeast side of the property is where you'd get your power. So we're basically at the west side, and now we'll look back to the east. And hopefully with the sun at our back, this will come out a little better. We'll see though. And maybe, hopefully, we're going to get down a little closer to that tree line so we can really get a close-up view of the timber there. But you can see this shows the topography fairly well. It does have some rise and some fall to it, but there's just really nothing steep. I mean, it's good. It lays nicely, as they say. Excellent location. Close to Lebanon, close to Camdenton. We happen to love both of those towns, both really good towns. Eldridge is just a couple miles to the east, which basically consists of a convenience store or gas station. But it's handy if you need it. I thought we got closer to the trees, but maybe not. Great options for hunting. The way the property's situated, we sold a property, well, it's been 10 years ago now, that was similar to this. And what the guy did was he had a small dozer come in and clear basically a straight swath, about 20 feet wide, a straight swath all the way through it. And he was a hunter, and that was his shooting lane. So he could sit at one end of that, and he had a clear view for a couple thousand feet. I don't know if he could make a shot from a couple thousand feet, but any animal that crossed that shooting lane, he could see within a couple thousand feet. So it was kind of like hunting a much larger property. And that one was actually smaller than this one. This one's 21 acres, and he did it on a 10-acre property. But I thought that was really interesting. Good use of the space. So we're getting back toward the east side, I believe. This could be great for a private campsite, a cabin, even a year-round home. Good location. We've met a few neighbors out there, good people. Katy Lane, I believe, dead ends about half a mile or so after the property, so that makes it very private. Okay, now you can see the red truck. That's the cleared site right there. And then the truck is parked just at the end of the driveway. I didn't quite pull it onto that cleared site. It's not a huge cleared site, but it's big enough that you can pull a truck or two in there and park and get situated. If you're camping out for the weekend or for a couple weeks, it's just handy to be able to get off the road and have a nice private site. So good property, has a lot going for it. Power and phone, like we said, are there on Katy Lane. You could gate this if you wanted to for ultimate privacy. Nice property. Now we're looking south. We're basically tracing that driveway back to the south. And there you can see Katy Lane in the distance. So check us out on InstantAcres.com to see if this property is still available. Give us a call, of course, 417-882-3400, or email is sales@InstantAcres.com. View to the north, and then finally view back to the west, looking over the property. Large property.